Do you have what it takes to make the
tabletop role game may include elements of violence, substance abuse, mental illness, emotional trauma, and may include other mature content or themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, summoners, and welcome to tonight's episode of Become Legend, an Ultramodern 5 actual play here exclusively on the Freeforge. A couple of quick things to throw down real fast before we get started here. The first of which being player applications to be part of 2023 productions here on the Freeforge. Sit in my chair, sit in their chairs. They're live right now until the 20th. I hope that's not wrong. Pretty sure it's the 20th. Yep, it's the 20th. The God Mod Cage has spoken, so now it's the 20th, even if it wasn't supposed to be. Make sure that you are applying and getting in there and doing the thing. Also, we are one person away from starting a hype train. And speaking of hype trains, I threw at the cast right before we went live that if we can beat that darn record, that hype train record that the Freeforge has, all 6 of us have committed to cosplaying our characters, all cosplay the BBEG, on our final episode on the season finale. So if you want to see us dress up as the characters, the champions that we're playing, maybe beat that hype train record tonight and see what happens.
Can the BBEG be Jinx? So you have to dress up as Jinx?
No, the BBEG is probably not Jinx, seeing as how you already beat her. But nice try, maybe?
I mean, I want outfit.
Okay. We're okay? You're good?
Worth a shot.
All right. So without further ado, we are already done a level 2 hype train, level 3 hype? I don't even know. Good job. Keep it going. Let's see if we can get all these lovely people to cosplay the champions that you enjoy so much. But without further ado, in our last match of Become Legend, we came back to the champions after being incapacitated by Casker's alert device, helpless on the cold metal floors of Jinx's lair, as Casker lamented again about his plan working, calling out to another individual who approached Io and Reggie's purview after a short while. The individual is soon to be realized as Jericho Swain, and voice full of disdain, talks down to Casker about the reasoning behind wasting such time when they could have easily taken care of the threat themselves. After a short exchange, a third individual approached the group, seen only by Niche, and a sudden realization that Singed is also involved in this plot. as the champions attempted in vain to free themselves of the toxin coursing through their bloodstreams. Io reached out with her mind to see whose thoughts she could read, and picked up on a fourth individual far away from the rest, and accessing their thoughts discovered that it was her long-lost sister Callisto calling out to her psychically. Shortly after, one by one, the group slipped into unconsciousness. From the darkness, Niche awoke in a large sewer, and following the tunnel, walked back out into Jinx's lair to find it empty. Realizing she was in another dream state and seeing Lamb and Wolf near the pillars where the individuals had fought just a short time before. She spoke with Lamb, finding out that she was assured that Arch's life is now saved, and that either her or Wolf will come to her again should the scales need some more rebalancing. At which point she awoke in a dimly lit cell. In each their own time, the champions regain consciousness to discover that they have all been dumped in Stillwater Prison, and began trying to think of an escape. Shortly after, footsteps were heard down the corridor, and after a while, the confident, battle-worn Vestayan figure came into view. Orientating directly on Io's cell, Callisto had a candid conversation with her sister before trying to wrestle her away from the group and save only her. Thanks to the smooth talking and persuasiveness of Io, Callisto begrudgingly accepted to try and free the entire group. And as she was leading Io down to the room where their belongings were held, another individual at a cell further down made himself known as Echo. And after some more convincing, much to Callisto's chagrin, she accepted the fact that they would need a place to hide, and that freeing Echo and all of them escaping to the Firelight encampment well below the streets of Piltover would be the best place for them to go for now. One by one, she returned to each cell, unlocking and freeing all of the champions and bringing them down to the prisoner belongings holding room, where they were able to get all of their gear, with the exception of a hat and a coat, unfortunately pilfered from Arch by persons unknown. As they prepared themselves for the escape from Stillwater, this is where our next match begins, as the 7 of you exit the room and make your way to the elevators. Is anybody doing anything right away before we start? Oh my gosh, we're already done a level 8. Okay, I have to do something first. I got so into giving the recap, I didn't see what was going on the other monitor here. We are about to beat the last record. If you guys want to see us all cosplay our characters, you're getting real close there. And I might as well throw out really quick, Mindy giving 1 summoner spell to Arch. Arch is probably going to need it because he's got 0. Jamer X, thank you so much for donating those biddies to give Kim Grimm, or Io, sorry. I just love saying Kim Grimm the way that Deej did it. Giving 2 to Io. We got Deej the man himself, hooking up Niche with a summoner spell. Aoife coming in hot with 2 more for Arch. And Candle giving 1 to Niche. And because all of you have all of your video. Okay, James out here, helping out all of the players. 37 total tokens. James, dang. What the heck? Flock Obama just coming in with 5 tier 1 subs. Stamosis coming in with 1,000 bits. Take the record from Deej, tokens to Arch. Thank you, fellow game master on the Freeforge. We are so close to beating that record. Let's keep it going. Let's get that cosplay happening. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised with what I would have to cosplay, because I've never cosplayed before, so it would be interesting. So keep it going. We need to get everybody to 10 summoner spells really quick. And because you're all... Oh my gosh. Sorry, I cannot use my multifunction button because you all had different amounts of summoner spells. So I have to do this individually really quick. We're gonna get her done though. All right. Everybody has 10 summoner spells. I'm gonna give you an extra 4 because of the hype train that we are going. 2 minutes to beat the record. 70% through this this level. My brain is broken. I didn't expect y'all to just go with it that hard right away. I'm gonna give you all 4 more. It's not working. It's working. Hold on. Okay. I have to fix my button. I will make a note of that because it's not working properly.
The record?
I don't know what the record is, but we're getting close. Candle out here gifting another sub. Flock Obama coming through with 5 more subs.
We just completed a level 9.
Flock Obama, thank you so much. This music on top of the craziness is really making me feel weird. Oh my gosh. Record is level 11 at 27%. Thank you so much, Aoife and Deej. We are at level 9 right now. Y'all still have time. Hit up those bits, hit up those subs. Stamosis giving another 3 to Arch. I better add some more tricks up my sleeve for this prison escape. Because y'all have too many summoner spells now. So, as you walk out of the room, there is 20 guards on each side. No, I'm joking. We're not
We
gonna...
all hug Reggie, and he explodes. And then he gets a penta-octa supple kill.
A septuple octa penta... Everyone kill.
Something.
Everyone kill. We are 10% of the way there. Just over 4 minutes to go. Hit up them subs, hit up them biddies. Let's make this wonderful cast cosplay their characters. I believe in all of you. Thank you so much for the bits, for the subs. It all goes to a great cause. The Free Forge pays everybody. That means the players you're seeing are getting paid. I'm getting paid. The mods and the moderation channel are getting paid. Everybody's getting paid. So trust me, your money isn't just going into the pockets of Jeff Bezos, though some of it does, I guess, probably somehow, because all money ends up there anyway. But everybody else, we are super close. Keep it going. But as I woo-saw a little bit and calm myself, as you exit the room that you were in, where you grabbed all of your... Oh my gosh, Aoife, sorry, I do have to say this one out loud. Aoife gifting the tier 1 sub to Silco. Welcome, former king of the underground, to the Free Forge. Let's go. We want to get that dress up. You have just over 2 minutes to get us there. Let's go. Mike? Is that for real? Is that a legit thing that I miss? Is Mindy messing with me? Oh my gosh, Flock Obama coming through with 10 more gifted subs. I just want some clarity on that one. Apparently, it is very much for real. Oh my gosh. Mike coming in and giving 33 tokens to Reggie. I can't push the button that night. What? We're never gonna get started with the episode because I'm gonna be sitting here pushing the button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Y'all are amazing.
7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Reggie has 44 tokens. Aoife, thank you for giving me 2. Thanks, Aoife. You rock.
So does that mean Reggie can just auto crit by spending 20?
Y'all got 1 minute. We're at 81%. You know what? If he wants to spend 20, I'll let him auto crit. Sure. You want to spend 20 tokens? I'll give you. You know what? All of the players, because we have so much. Anonymous gifter gifting 5 tier 1 subs to push us over that 100% for the hype train. I'm going to make y'all a deal because this is so wild and our community is so amazing. Make sure you check out the Free Forge. Make sure you check out those player apps. Because y'all have so many tokens tonight, I will say anytime you want to bust out 10 tokens, I'll give you an auto crit. 10 summoner spells, auto crit. They're not tokens. That's on Honor Roll. Check out Honor Roll Fridays at 7:30. Same time, same place, same channel. I'm trying to keep up here. Stamosis giving another 3 to Arch. Arch probably needs them the most, let's be real, because the person piloting Arch doesn't seem to know how to roll over a 5 on any dice. Oh my gosh. Candle, thank you so much for giving another one to Nemo. Y'all are getting super close to us cosplaying our... Okay, I think I see a little line on the thing. We're like 5% away. We're like 5% away or something like that. Am I wrong in that? That little line? That little line on the hype train is the record? That's the finish line? Like after that, stop. Because y'all are wild and giving away too much. It's insane. Know. I think
this is the stream now.
Yeah, this is the stream. I just never get to... Y'all just really don't want to try and escape from prison. That's what it is. That's why you went with this.
Blow up the prison.
Starsky, new name to me, but probably a fantastic individual. All-time record shattered. Let's go. Free Forge from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Niche, Nemo, Arch, Io, Reggie, get ready to cosplay on the season finale because we threw it up there and they did it real quick. Starsky, thank you so much for giving 3 more summoner spells to Io. That was only 2. Candle, thank you so much for giving one to me. I feel like the underappreciated one tonight. And Stamosis hooking up Niche this time with another summoner spell. We broke the record. 50% level 11. Okay, Deej, stop doing your best Donald Trump impression. There's no recounts here. Florida is valid. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm Canadian. Am I right in what I'm saying? I don't know.
Ish.
I'm an Asian Canadian. I don't know anything about U.S. politics.
Stay that way, yeah.
I'm going to
save yourself.
And thank you, Mindy. Level bajillion complete. All abilities unlocked. You all have Canadian. Thank you, Rakelai. You get it. Thank you all so much. I can't even... I'm just done. That's the episode, folks. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Roll credits.
So
amazing.
I went out of prison.
Yes, and represent...
Prison's apparently great for us.
Yeah, prison is great for monetization. Let's go. Every episode you're going to prison.
God.
It's like the end of the episode, you beat the big bad evil guy, back to prison. So, as you all prepare yourselves to, take that deep breath. Oh my gosh, my heart won't stop. My heart won't start. I'm about to die. As you prepare yourselves to leave the room where you all congregated and gathered, getting your belongings with the exception of a hat and a coat. I just like to rub it in as much as possible. I can't take this seriously now. I'm still vibing over this 50% level 11 hype train. Free Forge is the greatest. Io leading the way out the door, closely followed by Arch, followed by Reggie, followed by Niche, followed by Nemo, followed by Callisto. Callisto calls up quietly to you at the front, Io. All right, you gotta go down to the right, and there's an elevator I'm gonna have to use the key card in. Everybody stay low, stay quiet. We don't really want to wake up all the stuff that's in here. Trust me.
Suppressor, I'm good.
Well, she's got your gun because you are shackled.
Right.
Yes, you are all you're all wearing shackles. All right, the hype train was a success. We officially hold the record on Become Legend now. Get wrecked, Deej. Level 11, 50%. Great job, everybody. Get those cosplays ready, cast. Let's go. And as you creep down the corridor, you notice that this hallway that you're in doesn't house any other cells. It's all just, it appears to be just closed, unmarked doors. Probably likely housing various security rooms or prisoner belonging rooms. And as you continue down, you come to a large set of double doors that appear to have some sort of key function on them. And Callisto walks up and kind of searching through this ring of keys, brings up this one larger key and inserts it and turns, and you hear the mechanical whirring as the elevator starts to come to this floor. Is there anything anybody's doing right away, or are you just keeping an eye out and waiting? Okay, so after what seems like an abnormally long time, you hear the elevator behind the door come up, and as you're all standing there waiting to get on, the doors open and reveal 5 what appear to be, there's three females and 2 males. They appear to be in street clothes, all well built, all lean, all look tired. But this is likely, from your best guesstimate, like a guard switchover. Like some of the guards from the other floor are about to be getting off shift and we're heading down to the main to exit the prison. And the 7 of you standing in the hallway looking at the 5, their eyes go wide. Is anybody doing anything right away as you open the door and see?
As soon as I see like that group of 5, I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna actually spend some. I mean, we got some stuff, right? So let's use. I need to get myself up to level 3 real fast, so I'm gonna use my 3rd level special. And that way I can a special ability. And I'm going to use Iron Palm as Arch kind of just instinctively, for no apparent reason, he's just gonna run into the center of that elevator. And before anyone kind of acknowledges him, he'll do kind of like a football juke where he kind of goes to one side, spins around, and then like slides between 2 of them to get in the middle of them as this like blue energy activates. And that 3rd level spell goes, and you see like this blue energy just kind of emanating from the brass knuckles on his hands. And with Iron Palm, I'm gonna get some bonuses, some stuff. And so once I get in the middle of them, he kind of like looks around, and I'm gonna activate my ultimate. And let's get that deafening whisper going and bring out my buddy Sosin.
So really quickly, I'm going to get you to make a initiative check for me.
Oh, initiatives.
Oof.
Hold on, what's my plus? That's actually pretty high. Dude. That's a 20.
Okay. Yeah, you blew them out of the water. So go ahead and roll your 5 attacks for me really quick. And then...
All right, let's see what the die.
Yep. Remember, they're all at advantage.
I ain't gonna believe this, but my first roll was a natural 20.
Yeah.
I don't believe it because it's Arch. Okay, so... So that's a crit.
All 5 of them, right?
Yeah. Roll all 5 with advantage. Put your 20s in the chat, by the way. Thank you, McCall.
As next one is an 18 plus stuff, so that's going to be 20.
Okay. So with your ultimate ability, that's a critical as well.
Oh, snap, you're right. 19. What is happening tonight, y'all?
A third critical. It's the hype train just hooking it up. So 3 critical strikes, and your 4th attack.
I don't want to stop. Another 18. Disadvantage is rocking.
Okay. 4th critical
I'm not changing
strike.
Dice either. I'm
gonna
use
you can't now.
the same time. Another 20. What is happening?
Put your 20s in the chat. Okay, so
oh my god.
that is 5 critical strikes for Arch and for Sosin. So explain to me, first off, you and I both know how much damage you can do. So what's the damage on each of those 5 strikes? So strike 1.
So because I amped up the Iron Palm before I had that, this is going to get even better. So one of my dice is an automatic crit on the roll. So that's an automatic 6 5 times. And then that gets doubled for the crit.
Okay.
And then, let's see, here's the other ones real quick. Got it. So then let's add, I got to do math. So that's going to be... Guys, y'all, this is gonna be amazing. That's oh Lord. I don't know if your guys can withstand 127 points of damage.
Is that one attack? Or is that all 5? Okay.
That was all 5.
Okay, so
hold on. I forgot that also gives me +1 to damage. Let's add another 6.
Okay.
133.
So
33 divided by 5. Oh my god.
Go ahead and describe as Arch jukes into the center of this elevator and these 5 guards what his pentakill looks like.
Yeah, so like I said, he slides like in the middle. His hands start glowing blue, and all of a sudden, Sosin's visage generates and comes out of Arch. So Arch like just kind of stumbles forward at the first guard, and he goes to swing and completely whiffs. And the guard kind of like slips to the side, but Sosin's right behind him, coming with the opposite hand and cracks him in the face. That one goes flying. Then Sosin grabs Arch and like throws him in the other direction of another guard, and then he hits that guard, and that guard's just kind of like stumbling around him, and then Sosin does like a spinning kick to the other dude's head and cracks him in the face and spinning his body flying. And then he has like 2 guards coming behind him, and he slides out from right in the middle, like ducking and sliding right behind him, grabbing both of their heads and smashing those 2 heads together. And the guard that was tussling with Arch just kind of like pushes Arch out. And right as that happens, Sosin comes hitting back into Arch, and that force causes a headbutt, cracks that dude right in the center of the nose. And then he just kind of sits there, and Arch is kind of standing there like, what just happened? And then he like pokes the dude, and the dude falls over.
So as the rest of you are standing outside the elevator, the doors open, you're all kind of shell-shocked like the guards are. You see Arch dive in, a spectral form splitting off from him, and the 2 of them quietly and quickly decimating everybody that was in the elevator. I will need you to make a Constitution save for me, Arch, at the end of your ultimate ability.
Okay. So that's 18.
18. So as the ability ends and you're standing face to face with Sosin, you're back to the rest of the group as he reaches out towards your necklace and kind of absorbs back into the pendant that you wear. You remember all of this time.
And he's kind of like turns around and looks at everybody, and he goes to grab his jacket to like fix it, and then realizing it's not there, he's like, did you see Sosin? I mean, he was amazing. Did you see all that? And he just kind of looks around, he's like, I remembered. Oh, I also remember we're still in the prison.
You see Callisto like All right, maybe your friends aren't as shitty as I thought they were, Io.
Aren't
Okay.
he shitty? Look what he just did!
Yeah.
Right?
I literally didn't know you had that in you, Arch. Was that another person? You know what? We don't have time for this right now. We should probably... she kind of darts into the elevator really quick, like gingerly stepping over a body, and presses a button that you hear the mechanical contraption kind of like halt for a second. We gotta get rid of these bodies. We should probably put them in the room, because if we get to the main floor and the elevator opens, if there's anybody else there and there's already all these bodies,
No, right.
it's
That's
probably
smart.
not a good
And
look.
Nisha's already started pulling them and dragging them. They are not worried or concerned or even grossed out by dragging them.
Okay. So anybody that's going to assist, I'm just going to get a strength check for me really quick, please.
Arch is not going to help. He's at.
Tried.
Sorry.
No.
Shackled.
Arch is not going to assist. He's going to like he's so like happy right now. He like runs over to Reggie and he grabs Reggie like by his jacket. He's like, "Oh my god, did you see that? Did you see how amazing Sosin is?" And oh, that reminds me, hey, how's your hat look on me? And he kind of like little tips it.
Oh, Arch. And Reggie's just gonna kind of look in your eyes, linger for a sec, and kind of look up at the hat and reach up and reposition it just slightly. That's better. It's... You know, I'm feeling a little naked without my hat. I've worn it every day for like 20 years. But you hang on to it until you get a new one. It looks good on you.
Thanks, Reggie. You know what? It's Julian when you got a classic Reggie.
Oh, Reggie's gonna blush.
So you see Echo and Callisto both dragging bodies into the room. Who else is helping?
I always.
Okay, what did you get on your strength check?
I rolled a natural one.
Put your ones in the chat.
Ones in the chat.
I always say that, but it never happens.
Is staring at it and really trying to tug on
Niche.
someone, but it's not working.
Niche gets a 19. Can she, as they're dragging one body, kind of reach over to help Io grabbing at the collar of this person's clothing and just kind of slowly drag both?
Sure, I'll allow that. Actually, 19's high, but this is dead weight of prison guards. If you wanted to throw a couple summoner spells at it, I would
I'll
let
spend
it
one
happen.
to make it a 20.
Okay, perfect. Gotta get rid of them somehow, since Chad is so wild and gave us so many tonight. So, Io, you're like kind of struggling, and then Niche kind of drags a body past you, and then just reaches over, and you both start pulling the body back as Echo and Callisto come and collect the last one, and you put the bodies away and pile back into the elevator. A quick check as you get into the elevator. Callisto kind of leans over to Io and whispers, "All of them are dead. Are you sure you're safe with... Well, you're obviously safe with these people, but, like, is he stable, or...?"
He's very friendly. He promised to help me find you.
All right. Hey,
Very nice.
Arch, sir, maybe put the shackles back on. You kind of exploded them off when you jumped in. Okay, I'm gonna take the front here now. Io, maybe just step in with the head security guard. Use your like weird mind tricks on him really quick to get us past, and then straight shot right to the boat. It's gonna be super easy. All right. And She takes the key out of the door and walks into the elevator and presses a couple more buttons, and the doors close. And the elevator starts moving down. A couple seconds pass. About 30 seconds pass.
They should really put music on here.
Yeah. Here, I'll help.
It's a prison.
Oh, right.
Well, yeah, you need to be entertained. The guards need to be entertained, right?
It's... Oh, sis. Probably about a minute and a half goes by before you feel the elevator start to slow down and the doors open and you can see a hallway, and as you kind of are led out, Callisto kind of standing off to the side and lining you all up. All right, get moving, let's go. And kind of like pokes Reggie with the butt of the gun, kind of getting you all into a line, and you walk down this hallway that opens up into this large chamber, probably 100 feet by 150 feet by 200 feet tall. And you see on the far end a large set of double doors. The doors probably 20 feet tall, 15 feet wide. And as you pass around the corner, you look to the left and see just one single large desk with this gigantic individual sitting behind it. They have yellowish pale skin and like blemishes on their face, and probably 5 different chins as they're kind of sitting stuffed into this guard's uniform with this giant cane, walking stick type police baton. Like it's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in the hat, and they're just kind of sitting there picking their nose as you come around the corner. And as soon as he looks over and notices you, he stands up right away, probably to 8.5, 9 feet tall, and kind of leans on the desk and, well, Callisto, you were just supposed to be visiting a prisoner here. What are you doing with so many in tow? And Callisto kind of like nervously looks back at the group and kind of makes eye contact with you, Io, and does like the, got a word from I got a transmission from Mr. Solomon that they were to be brought to the council for questioning. Questioning. Yeah, there's, and kind of keeps looking back at you, Io, and you see the.
What's your name, sir?
1734. What do you think you're doing talking to me? As he kind of turns to face you, this large gut, you can kind of see like the belly button almost poking out from the uniform that he's stuffed in, and he's kind of reaching for this large club-like walking stick that he has. Clearly not really believing what Callisto says. Actually, natural 3 on her performance check and a natural 15 on his insight check. Is kind of reaching for it and looking at you. Is there anything anybody's doing right away?
Wow, dude, are you going to use that to like pick all that grime out of your teeth or what? Io, get him. Io, get the thing.
Starts taking steps down and is probably 5 feet away from.
Come closer. Come closer. I'd like to tell you something.
Kind of walks up, readying this walking stick, and at the last second goes to turn back and roll me a quick perception check, Io.
That is a 15.
You can see on the wall by his desk where he's spinning back, there's a large red button that it appears that his stick is going to press. So I'll give you one action before he's able to turn and press the button.
She is going to swiftly move to the side and block him and say, "You will let us pass." And she's going to charm him.
Okay. Is that an innate ability, or are you using one of your abilities?
She is going to use her charm ability.
Okay.
It is a DC 15, but I am going to use my summoner spells at least, I'd say 4, to make it a 19.
Put your 20s in the chat.
No.
Oh, 20s.
It's a charisma save, correct?
Charisma, yes.
So even though it's a natural 20, his -2 to charisma makes it an 18. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a roll off, because usually a 20 is a success, but the negative... Let's roll 1d20 roll from each of us. Whoever is higher wins. Okay?
I like this.
Go ahead and make the roll, because I know Io likes the chaos. That's cocked.
Like a good gamble.
That's cocked. You want to wager any summoner spells before we reveal our numbers, or are you pretty confident?
I'd say I'm pretty confident.
I'm going to use 2. Which brings me to a 16.
You should put your 20s in the chat.
Oh, no! So as you dive in between this... Yeah, put your 20s in the chat! Hey, James, come on now. That's not true. As you dive between this individual, and what does it look like when Io uses this ability to charm the head guard, the gatekeeper?
It's soft and subtle, and you can see that she is moving in a way to make his eyes stare directly at hers that are glowing a vibrant, violet almost. I would say like
Vibrant violet. Say that 5 times fast.
vibrant violet, yes.
So as you say that, and you kind of see the wisps of this purple violet energy kind of waft out from Io's glowing eyes, it almost looks for a second like he's going to just reach over her and push the button anyway, but probably about this far away from the button, his hand kind of slackens and he puts the stick down with a loud thud that kind of echoes through this large chamber, and it like sense of calm and peace kind of washes over his face as he just looks at you, Io.
Good boy.
Well, Callisto, if the council says that these prisoners are to be brought for questioning, then I suppose they can go. And kind of like turns around, like shakes his head, almost as if he's trying to like ward off something that's clouding his mind, but can't quite, and slowly steps back up and sits behind the desk again and just kind of relaxes. Callisto. All right, let's get the fuck out of here before that wears off. Let's go. And kind of ushers you, look, in a line, stay in a line.
Don't hit me.
And kind of walks and leads you out to the front, kind of looking back. Door! Yells back to the thing, and he kind of clicks another button underneath the desk, and the doors slowly slide open, revealing the dark night of Piltover and Zon. You can see the lights of the Grand City off in the distance across the little bay from the island that Stillwater Hold is on. And as you walk down the steps, you see the 2 guards on either side of the door on the outside and various spotlights that are shining down on the ground, kind of like slowly making their way across all of the beach and everything like that. And you spot off in the distance as Callisto is leading you a dock. Is there anything anybody's doing right away, or are you just following Callisto's lead for now? So as you walk down this like one stone path that leads from the front gate down towards the dock, you probably get about halfway. Io, how long does the charm last? I think it's only like a minute, probably, right? So as you get about halfway down the path towards the docks, all of a sudden you hear the sound of sirens, and a bunch of the towers that are looming up in the distance start to flash red, these red lights spinning, and you see windows closing on various parts of the front of the thing, and you hear from behind you up by the door, "Hey, hold on a second!" As it appears that the charm wore off the gatekeeper, and he is now summoned the alarm, and the prison is going into full lockdown.
Gun, give me my gun, give me my gun.
Yeah, I think subterfuge is over. Get rid of those handcuffs, and kind of like, as you break yourself out of the handcuffs, she's already tossing the sniper rifle to you, Nemo.
Callisto, do you have keys to any of those boats, or are we going to have to do this the old-fashioned way?
No, I got here on a transport. It ferries back and forth between Piltover and here for like the guards and stuff. So I came over with the shift change, and I was going to leave with the shift change.
Or... Great.
There's a bunch of floating stuff there. I don't know. They have emergency boats for if they have to evacuate the island for any reason.
You're really bad at this. And I take a shot at one of the spotlights.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack for me. As you all start moving towards, is anybody else doing anything as you start fleeing towards the docks?
Are there guards in front of us or just behind us?
Make a perception check for me. What was your attack, Nemo?
24.
24. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
So you see now that there's probably 4 or 5 spotlights that are on the front of the various portions of this building that are shining down on all 7 of you now and trying to track you. 7? Yep. Big shot rings out, and one of the lights shatters, and Callisto kind of looks at you and she goes, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." And you see her.
God, you were so bad at this. As
she's running, you see her tail flip the rifle off her back where it was located, and she kind of looks back over her shoulder and then keeps running. And as she's running, you see 2 shots pop off, and 2 of the lights shatter as she shoots them, running, not even looking at them. Reggie, what was your perception check?
23.
23. So you can see that there appears to be, like, down this pier where you can see like 6 or 8 boats that are kind of floating at the dock. There is like little poles that run down the dock, and there is red lights flashing on them, and you can see probably 4 or 5 guards coming out from this little building that's at the front of the dock, where they probably have like prisoner check-in and all of that stuff, and they all appear to be carrying assault rifles as they are kind of coming out of this little guard station and running up the path towards you.
Ooh. Watch out in front of us. And I'd like to use one of my abilities if I could.
Sure.
I'd like to use my Pillars of Fire.
Okay.
And throw up my hand and have these little spurts of flame come out and have the same but larger pillars erupt from the ground right where all those guards are.
Okay.
If
Sure. There's, yeah. And I believe it does damage based on proximity to each pillar, right? So as they're all kind of flooding out and going into a line to run up to you to approach, I would say one gets hit by two of them get hit, all four of them get hit by two, with the fifth one just being on the peripheral that would only get hit by one, as they're kind of spread out across, because there's 3 or 4 pillars.
4.
4. Okay, yeah. So no, all of them get hit by 2. So go ahead and what's the save on that? If there is
DC,
a save.
Dex 15. But let's make it a 19. I just
Thanks,
want to copy
Mike.
Io.
Oh, you're down to 40 summoner spells.
Oh.
Fail. Oh, I'm going to use 3 of mine. So one of them succeeds. And the rest fail. Not even close. So go ahead and roll damage on that.
It's 14 fire damage per pillar.
So 28.
Mm-hmm.
So none of them drop. But I believe are they caught on fire? Does the pillars of fire do that? They like get hit, these pillars erupt and you hear like them scream, "Oh, what the fuck?" And they back up out of the pillars right away. But they all take the damage, and all 4 of them or 3 of them are on fire because one made the save. So you see one of them trying to help, and 3 of them kind of doing the stop, drop, and roll as the beach is kind of illuminated with this giant burst of flaming pillars. What is everybody else doing as you're running down?
Niche is just absolute beeline towards the closest boat.
Okay.
Arch will be next to Niche. Are we gonna pass those guys that?
Well, if you want to run
just
through these pillars of fire that are now on the beach, because I believe they last for a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to have to split up and go around them if you don't want to risk getting caught on fire yourself.
Pillars of fire instant, and then they go away.
Oh, it's instant and they go away? Okay, sorry, my apologies. So yeah, so there's this bright flare and then it dies down right away and you see the guards kind of like trying to put the fire out on themselves and ready themselves.
If we're not next to them, I will just stay right on Niche to give her some support, or give them some support. And if we do pass them, though, I'm just gonna punch the one that's not on fire if we're running past them.
Okay. Really quick, I just want to say thank you so much, the Hype Goblin, for raiding with your community. Thank you so much for trusting your community with us, and we are super happy to have you here on Become Legend on the Freeforge. Thank you so much for the raid. Candle already out there doing the mod thing and giving the shout out to the Hype Goblin. So thank you so much. So as you go running down, you see Callisto is still taking pot shots at the guards back on the beach, back at the prison that were running down towards you, and you can see little figures starting to file out of the front of the prison as well, as more of the guard force comes out to try and stop you. As you run up, you see Echo, who's kind of running beside Io and keeping pace with her, staying very close to her, pulls out this contraption from his waist, and he's got this like kind of that makeshift pipe kind of sword that's got metal welded to it in his offhand, but pulls out this device in his right hand, and he's like, "All right, watch out," and chucks it. And you see it kind of float in the air before expanding into this disc-like contraption that shoots, leaving a like little trail of blue kind of behind it, like spectral blue dust, as it flies towards 2 of these guards. You see it smash into the guards, but kind of go through them, almost as if it's not completely corporeal. And as it kind of reaches the apex, you can see it like a slingshot kind of shoot back towards him, passing through these two guards again as two of them drop and lay motionless. And he kind of jumps out in front of Io and catches it and puts it back on his waist and keeps running. Arch, as you run past, go ahead and make your attack. Nemo, I'll give you one more action if you'd like. Niche, you're separating from the pack and just double dashing towards the boats. Okay,
and
perfect.
Actually, Niche can triple dash, so she puts considerable distance between herself and the group.
So before,
and as she's running, she pulls a piece of copper out of her hair that was previously pinning it up. So her long salt and pepper hair is just kind of flowing out behind her, and she's ready for this.
Okay, perfect. As you do run past, the one guard that didn't get lit on fire is going to unleash some shots towards you. I don't think a 13 is going to hit you. Does a 13 hit?
No.
No? Oh, I dropped it, but I caught it this time because I'm sick. Ha 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 ha. What about a 20? Dirty 20.
What if I add 3 summoner spells? No, 4 summoner spells to make it a 21 to hit?
Then I guess it misses. So you hear this like automatic fire go off and kind of pelt the sand, little jumps of sand coming up by your feet as you kind of zoom by. Arch, what was your attack roll as you run by and do a flyby punch?
I need to play from San Diego more often because I just rolled another natural 20, y'all.
Put your 20s in the chat. Can we get a level 11 hype train every week? Can y'all make that happen?
Dude.
Because apparently that's the only way that Arch can roll above a 5 is if we have a hype train.
Sadly, I rolled pretty crappy on the damage, so that's only a 10 for damage.
But it's doubled. So are you hitting one of the ones that's just recovering from being on fire? There's 2 left that are recovering from being on fire, and then the 5th one that isn't on fire at all.
I picture it like a drive-by punching. Like I'm just running right next to Niche and just like, and then keep on running.
roll another d20 for me. Low, you're gonna hit one of the ones on fire. High, you hit the one that's not on fire.
Okay, glad I'm close enough. It's on fire.
It's on fire. So as you run by, this individual is kind of just patting out the last of the flames and bringing their weapon to bear. And as they kind of look up, your fist is already in their face, and you basically take their head off. Not literally, but like it almost feels like it with the momentum, and their head snaps back, and you can hear bone crack as they crumple to the floor as you run past. Maybe hit up that comes with mods. Go for it. Nemo, what is your extra action you would like to take as you're running in pursuit of the rest of the group down to the boats?
I am 100% running after Niche.
Okay.
And the moment the guy fires off the shot, I run right up behind him, go, hey! And then pull out my machine pistol and shoot him dead blank.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
That is a dirty 20 and a 22 for both attacks.
Okay, go ahead, both hit.
Oh, they both hit? Excellent. 11 points.
11 points.
Hey there!
So as you fire up these bullets, you realize maybe a second too late that the height and the trajectory that you were firing at, more used to your sniper rifle than you are the machine pistol, and not maybe realizing that unlike the off-duty guards that Arch decimated in the elevator, these ones are fully equipped with ballistic armor, and you see the bullets hit in the back midsection, and he kind of staggers forward but doesn't drop. And you keep rushing on past following Niche. Is Io doing anything for Reggie with Reggie already took your action, so you're just running down. Io, are you doing anything besides booking your way down as best you can?
Io is booking their way as best as they can. They're using their bent, not broken.
Perfect.
And so
which is your second ability.
Right, without their cane.
Yeah.
As fast as possible.
Okay, perfect. So as you all make your way down, you notice that as you come up to the dock, there is a steel gate with a lock on it. as you all kind of approach, Niche getting there first, followed closely by Arch, Nemo, then Io, Reggie. How are you going to get past this chain door as... Anybody?
I'm gonna, as I'm coming up behind Niche, I'm just gonna yell to Niche, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" And like full speed, I'm gonna like jump like Superman flying with fists out straight at the lock, and I'm gonna use there is no spoon. I'm gonna punch the crap out of that door.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. Reggie and Io, as you're coming up last to this door, everybody kind of, or this chain link gate, everybody else, you kind of look back and see that there appears to be more than a dozen guards running down the beach towards you. Some of them with larger range white rifles, it appears, as you start to see muzzle flashes in the darkness as shots begin to come at you. That's going to be 4 attacks randomly against 1 on Io, 1 on Reggie, 1 on Echo, and 1 on Nemo. Put your 20s in the chat again.
Oh, you have 20.
Oh, what?
You can put your 1s in the chat right after.
I'm gonna put that 1.
Does a 17 hit you, Nemo?
No.
Okay, and the last attack is going to miss Echo. So unfortunately, it's just the critical hit on Reggie. If you want to spend 10 summoner points, I'll cancel the critical. Because it's got to go both ways, right? So
Reggie's not looking so hot. So, yes, please.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
Please.
Got to get rid of him somehow. Down to 30.
Oh, God.
So it's just going to be a regular attack then. Which is actually probably that bad. Ooh, God, I rolled max damage, though. So you're going to take 9 points of piercing damage. As you kind of turn back and you see these muzzle flashes and you're like looking at Arch, who's currently flying at the door, and you feel this hot pain in your shoulder as one of the bullets clips you right in the arm. The rest of you see just potholes of these little spikes of sand flying up in front of you as the bullets are not quite landing or hitting the spark. Probably a couple sparks off of the fence and off of the building as bullets start to pepper the area. Arch, what did you roll for damage on your bent not broken? Or sorry, there is no spoon?
I rolled a 10, but because it's a door, I believe that's doubled.
So 24 or 20?
20.
20. So you maybe realizing too late that like this is more of a like, hey, we should put a gate and a lock here, but like honestly there's a guardhouse right here and stuff. Realize that it's a pretty flimsy thing. You go right through it, like smash the gate right off the hinges and kind of tumble forward. Make a acrobatics check for me. We'll see how cool this looks depending on how many summoner spells you want to use and what you roll.
Okay, so I want this to look really cool. So I only rolled an 11, but I'm actually going to use 7 points because I want that to go up to 18 so it looks cooler.
So as you're flying through the air with this chain link gate, at the last second you kind of grab it with your hands and push off with your feet and shoot it to the ground so it skids across the dock as you do a front flip and then do the 3-point landing and then kind of look back to Niche.
Can I add something?
Go ahead.
And then the hat like is floating behind me and I grab it, set it back on the head.
Perfect. So the gate now open, guards coming down, descending on you en masse. Callisto kind of posts up by the gate and starts firing back at the guards. What is everybody doing?
All right, what kind of machine are you? And as Nice powers forward, she is trying to gather as much information about the nearest boat as possible as they're trying to just jump on it. So what kind of steering does it have? What kind of exhaust does it have on the back? How much of its mechanical components can she see? Because whether it's powered by Chemtech or magic or is just mechanical means she has to hotwire it a little bit differently.
Okay, go ahead and make an engineering check for me, please.
All right, let's go. That is going to be a. I will use 3 summoner spells to make it a 20.
20? Okay, perfect. So you kind of are running down the dock looking at all these boats and you're like, no, I don't like that one. Nah, that one kind of sucks. That one. And you come to like the third last on the end on the left side and you're like, that could probably work because you're not. You've begun your exploration and learning of Hextech and Chemtech, but don't have easy access to either. And notice that this boat is more of a traditional steam engine type of boat. Probably doesn't even require hot wiring. It just needs to be lit, loaded up, and go. So as you run down, identify that's the best boat, you hop on, you hear just massive amounts of gunfire going back and forth now. What is everybody else doing?
I am looking kind of cross at Callisto, and I start firing back on the cops in return on the beach.
So as you look over at Callisto, you notice that the sniper rifle appears to be perched on her shoulder and is being fired exclusively by her tail, as she also has 2 handguns out in either hand and is firing 3 weapons simultaneously back up the beach.
That's just not fair.
Not my fault your tail's too little, and keeps popping off shots.
Oh, I'm immediately taking a shot at one guy that's in a cluster of people.
Sure, go ahead and roll an attack for me. Io, Reggie, Arch, what are the 3 of you doing?
Arch is back by Niche, just kind of like while they are messing with the boat. Arch is gonna kind of like be in a guarded position, looking around in case anyone comes, and just yell at Niche like, "Let me know if I can do anything. I'm not very good with boats, but you know, I could punch an engine if you need to. I don't know."
Rip off this panel.
Okay. And try and yank out a panel.
Okay, Reggie?
Are any of them coming towards us, or are they all shooting from a distance?
They're all running towards you while shooting.
Okay. Then a little bit further back, away from us, Reggie's gonna throw up his hands, and the little asterisks are gonna appear, and these little sparks of fire will appear a little bit off in the distance, and they'll extend out and branch off and create a fire chain link fence that goes. I'm gonna upcast it and make it go 100 feet just all the way across, and it goes 20 feet high. I'm hoping to keep them away from us, but also maybe obscure us just a little to hinder their aim.
Perfect. So this goes up. You can set it so that it, like, the way the beach goes, you could set it so it's like probably 15 feet from the gate that you came in and touches both sides of the ocean, completely cutting off the beach like a net in front of your compatriots. Io
is going to be using their stunning presence and pulling out the pistol that she owns and just popping off.
Okay.
Anyone she can find.
Niche, make another engineering check for me, please. At advantage, because Arch is helping. Doesn't look like you need it, but...
Here, what I will do is add... I'm going to need to add 3 summoner spells to make this a 30.
Okay.
Whoa!
So with no problem, you're like, yeah, this is a steam engine, and you kind of throwing on your glove, flipping out tools, get Arch to rip off this panel, then, hey, hold these wires out, and after a couple seconds, you hear the as the engine starts to turn over and the smoke begins to billow out of the stack above. The boat seemingly operational and in your control. What is Niche
Everyone
doing next? Okay, is everybody heating? Echo's already on board, kind of like, Io, come on, we gotta get out of here.
I was kind of having some fun, but sure.
I mean, we could. Never mind. Let's go.
It's just adrenaline. It's exciting.
Yeah. I hear you. And Callisto kind of backing up, still taking 3 shots at a time. As she backs up, some of these guards kind of approaching the fence now. Some of them a little bit braver, trying to run through and getting burned and setting on fire. And there's just a cacophony of sound of gunfire and fire and noise as you all pile onto the boat. And Niche kind of pushes it off the dock, making your escape. As you're all piled onto the boat and leaving, I'd like everybody to make a perception check, please. Arch?
That's actually an 18.
18? Okay. Mm-hmm. Reggie?
I'm going to use 2 summoner spells to make it a 20.
Okay. Io?
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Niche?
17.
Okay, and Nemo?
10.
That's uncharacteristic, but okay.
Too busy looking through the scope trying to pick off stragglers.
As you're pulling away, there was 2 people that got a dirty 20, Io and Reggie, right? As you're pulling away out into the lightless ocean between Stillwater Hold and Piltover and Zod, you kind of look back. The rest of you are seeing still just this royal of activity on the beach. But Reggie and Io, your eyes are drawn upwards. And as you're kind of looking where the spot, like there's one single spotlight still kind of shining, trying to reach you, but you're too far now. Most of the light devoid now, aside from the red pulsing from the alarm lights on various towers and stuff. You see at the very apex of the building, the furthest out module that comes out, standing above. You swear you see a billowing cloak and a glowing red arm before it kind of disappears as you pull further out into the bay. Now, operating a boat requires more than one person. Even advanced boating like this will still require a little bit of assistance. So as you pull out, Niche, you know that you're going to need help. You're not sure what everybody's skills are, but you likely probably want to ask everybody to help in some way.
All right, it's dark. I need eyes. Make sure I don't run into anything. It's been a long time since not one of these, but it's been a while since I've been in a boat. So make yourself useful.
Let me handle that. And Reggie's gonna go to the front of the boat and gonna do a little combo with a spell and an ability. Gonna see these green runes appear and stretch out like a visor in front of their eyes as Reggie casts Dark Vision.
Okay.
And at the same time, you'll see the bright orange line go down the nose, and the beard's gonna look a little feathered just for a moment. And I'm gonna use the Channel Falcon ability to increase passive perception.
Okay, so that's your second ability, correct?
Yes. And Reggie will watch in front of the boat to make sure it's clear.
Okay. Arch, what are you doing to help out?
First, he's just kind of like in that panel. He's like, "Hey, what's this? Stop! Just tell me whatever you want me to do." And
honestly, if you want to keep doing that, it's entertaining. And this has kind of been a shit day, so.
Io, what are you doing?
Stop!
Scouting as much as possible.
Perfect. Using your eyes, or are you reaching out with your mind? How are you assisting? Because you can do like the same thing that Reggie's doing, but it's just going to up the DC and then average it between the two of you. So it's entirely up to you, but
I'd say that they're listening. They're listening through their mind.
Perfect. Niche, you are obviously probably still driving the boat. Nemo, how are you assisting the group?
Well, Nemo happens to have proficiencies in ground vehicles and aircraft. So it's like, okay, you keep the engine running. I can drive. We got this between the two of us. Come on, Niche. This is our thing. We can do this.
So you see Callisto kind of sit down in one of the seats and put the gun back and kind of holsters her other two weapons and then is kind of leaning over and clutching at her side. And you see Echo kind of climbs up this little, the kind of roof of the boat, and then actually dives off and appears to be somewhere in the water. I'm sure as you kind of worriedly like look over, you see the white dreadlocked hair kind of float out of the water, kind of grasped onto the side of the boat. And there's some dangerous stuff in this water. I'll make sure none of it kind of gets to the boat. Don't worry about it. It's all underwater stuff. Yeah, it's freezing. Don't make me think about it.
Didn't you yell at me for going swimming? Come on, man.
There's a difference between that river where all the chemical runoff is and the ocean here.
You're not on fire.
So, Arch, I will get you to roll a... Let's go with insight check. Reggie, you can roll a perception check. Io, give me a straight charisma check. Niche, give me an engineering check. And Nemo, you can give me a... give me a dexterity check.
Okay.
Arch?
Boat thing to go south. I only rolled a 5, but I'm going to use 10 points.
To make it a 15?
At 15.
Okay. Reggie?
Tonight's the night that I copy people. I'm going to use 3 summoner spells to make it a 30.
Oh my god. Okay.
Nice.
It feels good.
It does. It feels so good.
Io?
That is a 13, but I'm going to use 4 summoner spells.
To make it a 17.
17, yeah.
Okay. Niche?
18 for engineering.
Okay. And Nemo?
28 on dexterity.
Okay. So with little effort, you all kind of work in tandem. Reggie spotting things out, Io listening intently to any of the views. Reggie, you're keeping an eye on the back, seeing the other boats kind of lighting up and following you, but well behind you because of the Fenso fire and all of the issues, the cover fire and everything that was brought down. So they're slow to react. Niche able to kind of keep an eye on the steam outlet and all of the other things that make the engine work in tandem with Arch to have maximum power, and Nemo just driving as if he's got not a care in the world, and eventually Echo kind of climbs back on top as you're getting closer to Piltover and kind of leans over your shoulder, Nemo, and is like, all right, you see that inlet there, that little slit?
Yeah.
Go in there.
Okay. Fast, slow? What? I mean, it's like, okay, just go.
Up to you. Doesn't matter. It's fine.
All right, cool. Let's go. Throttle, go.
So as you kind of slip into this inlet and come down, you start to go down, and the water you can see starts changing to that murky green, obtuse disgustingness that Nemo is all too familiar with after the previous day's swim. And as you kind of pass, Echo's like, okay, slow down, make a right here, and you kind of follow him into the through his directions through the channels into this big sewer. And all right, we should ditch the boat here. I don't want it too close to the hideout. I don't want them to be able to find us. So
It's a really cool boat. We could like redecorate it, like paint it something, like, you know, just like, I don't know.
we
Fine.
you've been to the Firelight camp. How are you going to get a boat in there?
No, you have a good point.
Yeah.
Can you make it fly with enough hoverboards?
I don't think you get how hoverboards work.
No, all right, fine. Everybody disembark. We're here. Put it in, just throttle back, park.
So as you all kind of get off into this large sewer subsystem, you notice Callisto doesn't follow. And Io kind of going back on the boat, you notice Callisto is kind of still clutching her side and doesn't appear to be conscious. And as you approach and kind of remove your hand, you notice that she appears to have a large caliber bullet round entry wound and exit wound in her side, as the seat that she's in is kind of soaked through with blood, along with her clothing and like her pants and everything, and doesn't appear to be conscious.
Oh, okay. Niche?
Yes. No, it's all right. She'll be fine.
She'll be okay.
And Niche will come over and inspect the wounds and kind of take a look at what's going on with Callisto.
Sure, make a medicine check for me.
That is a 18.
18. It looks like she took a pretty heavy shot to the gut that probably just, had it been a couple inches higher, would have pierced her heart, but appears to go right through a large caliber. You can almost see the hole, like, all the way through her.
You might want to look away for a second. It's honestly kind of nice that she's already unconscious for this.
I will keep looking.
Niche grins and will jam her fingers inside of Callisto to retrieve the bullet with one hand, and then with the other we see just this healing energy. So as Nisha's hand is pulling out of her body, it's like the wound closes up behind the bullet.
Okay, so there's no actual bullet as it passed right through her, but you are able to reach in and pull out like the pieces of clothing that would have been ripped off and gone in and would have caused sepsis to set in had they been left in her body. So go ahead and roll your healing for what you're doing.
She will get 25 points of healing.
So after you pull out, you see the wound kind of cover up. It still looks very fresh, very delicate, as it was a sniper shot from the roof that hit her from somebody unknown that caused massive damage to her. And her eyes kind of flutter open and she's like, "Oh, fuck, I didn't know he was there."
Who?
Just
First,
this.
Look at me. How are you feeling?
I thought I was dead. There was like a bright light. No, I'm joking. I was unconscious. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say anything. The adrenaline was up, but when we sat down,
Good
damn,
enough
that
to
hurt.
say horse shit I don't care about. Who shot you?
A guy that I trained from our unit. He's pretty good. Oh gosh. Oh, we picked him up on. He's actually like a murder. It's like this whole like pilot project that we did when my group got started up working for Piltover. He got captured and retrained. Somebody brainwashed. I don't know. His name is Jin. He's got a hell of a shot though. Damn, that hurt. Where are we? Are we in a sewer? What the fuck? And kind of
we're in a good spot. Don't worry about it.
Grabs onto you, Io, and kind of forces herself to her feet. And kind of moving slowly, and Echo's like, "All right, we're not far. Probably 20 minutes. Hopefully you guys can make the walk. Like I said, I just don't want this boat anywhere near our people. You know, we've got so many women and children there."
What if I sunk it?
That would be better. Yeah. Yeah, that would be
Honestly,
better.
great because I opened up a little hole near the engine, and this thing will not be up for too much longer.
Is it gonna explode though? Because like we're
Probably not.
probably not. How?
Niche, I
Oh,
wanted to
what
keep
have I
that. I mean, how
gotten
often do we
myself?
get a
And
boat?
you feel a keel, and Callisto and Io and Niche on the boat kind of feel the drop as you start to hear a gurgling as the boat starts to sink, and you're all able to jump off and quietly make your way back to the firelight encampment with the boat sinking in your purview.
You didn't let me keep the car either.
I know. We could steal another, but cars are easier to steal and to hide.
All right, fine. But it was a boat.
That's true. This is the most fun I've had all day. So
Yeah, it was kind of fun, right? With the whole like wall of fire and
feels good to be out.
yeah, it does.
As you're walking back, Echo in the lead, everybody else kind of following, Callisto kind of drops back and holds Io back with her as you keep walking. And she kind of pops this vial out of her bag and takes a long drink. And you can see her kind of straighten up, and you look, and where the shirt is torn, the wound appears to be completely closed and healed now. She kind of gives her head a shake, and she's like, man, let's pack some punch. All right. Looks like I was wrong, Io. These seem to be pretty good people you're with, and honestly, that's gonna make this whole thing a little bit easier.
What whole thing?
I gotta go.
We are going.
No, I can't go there. I gotta, and at this point, she's almost come to a full stop. She's like taking very slow, measured steps. The rest of the group probably 15, 20 feet ahead of you at this point. I can't come to the camp with you. And at this point, she kind of stops and turns to face you.
Why can't you?
I risked my tail getting you all out of there, and I can't blow my cover. I probably did already. I don't know how I'm gonna work it out, but I'll find a way, I'm sure.
You could start new. Come with me. I'm not letting you go. I've lost you for so long.
She kind of places both hands on your shoulders, and I'm compromised, Io. If I go to that hideout, look, I can't go. I can't.
You can. You can and you will.
I got stuff to do, Io. I've got work. I've got a mission. I'm not done yet. And I can't do it if I'm going to be worried about you and looking after you. And you know I can't be with you and not look after you.
Can't leave me again?
You see her tail kind of come up and flick a tear out of her eye, and then flip over to your face, and on the opposite side, flick the tear out of your eye. And I trust these guys now. They can look after you until I'm done. I'm not going to be gone forever, I promise, but I gotta go for now. And kind of squeezes both of your shoulders and goes to walk away.
Io grabs her arm immediately. No.
Oh, don't make this harder than it is.
Don't do this.
I I don't have a choice, just like I didn't have a choice last time. I know that it hurt that I didn't take you with me. But you were too young, and you know the things that I had to do. You're not young anymore. You can take care of yourself, but you still can't follow where I'm going right now.
Io desperately pulls out a card from her deck.
Go ahead and roll percentiles for me.
Let's see here. That is a 49.
You pull life and death. Are you releasing the magic in the card?
The magic is just sputtering out of her. She doesn't know what to do with it. It's not the right magic that she wanted. And she pulls death, and she casts Drain Touch on her.
Okay. That is I'm gonna drop 5 summoner spells to make that a 25 on the save. I don't know what your save is. I don't know if you can blow enough summoner spells to...
I will...
Oh, I think it's a half damage
I don't think
save,
she
right?
wants to hurt her.
Yeah.
I don't think Io wants to hurt her, so it's perfectly fine that she saves.
So what's half damage?
That would be...
And as the spell, magic, okay, as the magic releases from the card, what does it look like as she's... Callisto gets this really confused look on her face when you pull this deck out and draw a card, and then...
It's a panicked sputtering of violet and green that's emanating from her body. It's pulsing, and it goes into her veins and seeps into Callisto's veins as well.
She kind of rips her arm out of your grasp and... Damn it, Io, I have a tracker in me. They know where I am all the time. If I come back there, your friends, everybody that Echo is protecting are gonna die. You have to let go. Look, I'm almost done, I swear. I'm this close to being able to take down the bastard that did that to our family. You gotta let me finish. I can get out after, I promise.
You better come back.
I swear, and her tail kind of floats out. Kind of waiting.
Io's tail reaches to shake hers.
And as they kind of coil together, she kind of leans in, placing her forehead against yours. I'll be back before you know it. Promise.
I'll miss you.
I already do. And she kind of backs up a couple of steps and turns to walk away, and your tails kind of grip for a second, kind of giving the resistance before she slips out from your grasp and disappears down the sewer. Is there anything Io's doing right away? Or is she just going to catch up with the rest of the group?
Io is going to slowly trail behind, still looking back, but keeping an eye on the group, making sure that she doesn't lose sight of them.
So after a short while, you all kind of file into the large open space with the giant living tree. And as you enter, Echo kind of turns around and... What? We're missing one. Where'd the spunky chick go?
She had something to do.
Is she gonna be okay?
She will be. Always is.
All right. Well, I gotta go check in on some things, but I think based off what we learned from your sister, and I'm sure what all of you learned, we probably need to sit down with Heimer and have a talk really quick. So clean up, do what you need to, and meet me. Reggie, you know that workshop I took you to last time? Meet me there in like 10 minutes, okay? And you see Echo kind of give a nod and kind of almost reaches out to put his hand on your shoulder, Io, and then kind of snatches it back and just gives a nod and kind of walks away, kind of like, hey, yeah, let's go look at that board really quick, and kind of walks off. And as you champions are left with just the group of you again, Io kind of feeling sullen, and the rest of you probably exhausted and tired from the fight and the escape. All of a sudden, Nemo, as you're kind of looking around, you hear a Chimino? Chimino, is that you? Make a perception check for me really quick.
19 plus 8 for a lot.
As your eyes are kind of naturally drawn to the sound of the voice in the tree, the giant tree, you see on one of the lower, thicker branches hanging out, two individuals that are sitting on top of this branch, that both look similar to you. One of them is completely dark with just little splotches of white on their shoulders, on their face, on their feet, on their hands, and on their tail. And the other one is like a kind of chestnutty brown with bands of black kind of running around their arms and up their legs and down their tail. And they both immediately kind of wrap their tails around the branch and swing upside down and drop down to the ground and come rushing over to you, both trying to go for a hug.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the? Howard, why? What do you do?
You're Chimino Lapura, right?
Yeah, but you're... Wait,
oh, my boy. You've grown so big.
No.
Make a history check for me, Nemo. You don't remember us? Oh dear, he was so young. I don't know that he would. No. There's no way he forgets me.
18?
18? The male individual seems to be... You have a passing memory from when you were very, very young of the voice echoing in your head. And like visuals of the black fur with the white spots on the hands and feet, but you're not entirely sure who they are. Bella, he doesn't remember.
No, there's nothing. No, there's nothing to remember. I mean, there's nobody left.
Nothing to... You don't remember family?
No, but... course I remember family. And he's very nervously shaking and clutching a small bag that he usually has on his belt. Okay, no, this is, I mean, where were you a couple years ago? Where you weren't at home? Where have you been?
My boy, we haven't been at home for decades, especially after we found out about the D attack. We dared not go back.
There's nothing left to go back to.
Do you really not remember your Uncle Vinny? And he kind of grabs you on the shoulders, his tail kind of coming up and pushing your chin up to meet him. He's slightly taller than you, very well built, muscular, like works with his hands, quite strong. And as he kind of pulls your gaze up towards him and looks you in the eye, Nemo, my boy, why are you here? We thought all of you were dead.
No,
then Echo comes another day ago and says that somebody that looks like us was here and tells me your name, and I thought, no, Echo finally lost his mind. But here you are.
I went back home, and everyone was...
And the female, the chestnut brown, kind of wraps her arm around you and pulls you in close. Oh dear, oh my gosh. What you must have seen, what you must have endured. I'm so sorry that we weren't there. We couldn't come back. They would have killed us too.
There's nothing to come back to. You don't. There's not. Everyone just. And he's pulling out the bag, and it's just full of rocks. Just small tumbled stones. Everyone is gone. I burned the nest. Everyone is the Noxans.
And without saying a word, the two of them just envelop you in a giant hug.
There's no home. There is no home.
There, my boy. It's fine. We're here now. You're not alone anymore. And kind of looks up, tears welling up in his eyes to the four of you. Though it doesn't look like you were alone to begin with. Come, introduce us to your friends.
The tall guy, that's Reginald, and that's Archibald. That's Io. She's kind of like one of us from a different tribe, and that's Niche. She's all I had. She was in the war with me, and when we left and I came home, there was no home. Why weren't you there? Why couldn't you stop what they did?
We will talk, Nemo, I promise. I will tell you everything. And the two of them kind of approach Niche first and like holding out their hands, and I am Vinny Lapura, and this here is my wife Bella. It is such a pleasure to meet those who have taken care of my nephew for so long. Oh yes, dear, look at them. They're just a great group of individuals too, aren't they? You can tell just by looking at them. Yes, definitely, Bella. And go through and shake all of your hands. And well, I'm sorry, we couldn't contain ourselves. We had to come see the boy here quickly. You have a meeting to get to, but Nemo, I promise, little Nemo, we will talk about this more once you've taken care of your business. And they both come up and kind of wrap you in a hug again, and you're not alone.
Nemo is just stiff.
You're not alone, my boy. And your cousin will be excited to meet you. And the two of them kind of slowly start to walk away. Big smiles on their faces, tears in their eyes, as you know that the time to go meet with Echo and Heimerdinger approaches.
In the moment where the two pull away, Niche just moves very close to Nemo, almost touching him, but not quite, and will just kneel down on the ground so that she's right at his level, and she'll just stay there, very quiet, and just be
Nemo
close to him.
Immediately just grabs Niche, wraps his tail around, and he is shaking.
And slowly, a little bit less awkwardly than we've seen her with other people, still a bit stiff, Niche will return the gesture and just hold him.
Niche, they're not supposed to be here. There's no one left. I don't understand. I don't understand where they went, and I don't understand if they were out. How many more are out? And why didn't they come back? Why didn't they help them? There's nothing to come back to. Everything is burned. They're all dead. When I left,
you do not need to understand anything right now. You don't. It is okay. It is not okay, but you will be all right.
I don't understand.
And that is all right. It doesn't feel good, no. But I'm not going anywhere.
He's just holding in one hand that bag. They always said that when Shimon, when we die, we go back to the stones, and I just grabbed a stone for everyone I could find, and then I burned everything else because it was just nothing but Nox and slime and gas, and there was canister, it just came from Singed, and I just can't. They can't be alive. It's just that I don't understand why.
You don't need to, Nemo. Just stay with me and we'll be here for as long as we need to. Whatever conversation they want to have can wait.
I don't believe that they're... You saw them, right?
Yes.
They're just voices in my head. I didn't expect to see them.
And that is all right. It is. Just take a breath and wait with me for a bit longer.
Okay. Okay. I'm okay. I'm not okay. Not okay. I'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Be okay.
Did the three of you hang around or start making your way to the workroom?
I was staying with Nemo and Niche, just shuffling their cards quietly, just staying.
Arch kind of wrapped his arm around his back at the body, bring and like lean next to Reggie a little bit, and just kind of like stand.
So as you all absorb the moment, family found and family lost, that is where we are going to end our match tonight.
Oh.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to tonight's episode of Become Legend. First off, let's give a real big rousing hand to our community. We broke that hype train goal. Y'all better start getting some cosplays ready. I have no idea how I'm going to do mine. Mercs, help. Mercs, I'm going to need you real bad.
My hair into
is that my version of mods?
Yeah.
Mercs!
Can you just... Yes. Amazing.
And then let's give it up for this incredible cast. The now fallen apart Nemo, played by the wonderful Trevor Valle. The always supportive and engineerical genius Niche, piloted by the wonderful Sarah L. Kinney. The quick-witted and lesser sisters around Io, ran by the always fantastic Akim Grimm. The explosive powerhouse of Reggie, played by the incredible Cage Array. And the I can punch anything person, played by the wonderful played by the wonderful Friggins. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for beating that hype train record. Get wrecked, Deej. The gauntlet is throwing down. Oh, yeah, and I guess I was your summoner tonight, and I'm L. Please remember again that player applications are still open for the next 5 days. They're done on the 20th, till the 20th. I keep looking at Cage every time I say it, because I'm like, am I saying it wrong? Don't forget that the wonderful Deej is solo streaming tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. Probably doing a whole bunch of talking and then maybe like 30 seconds of Elden Ring or some other game. Who knows? Then
what happens next?
What happens next? A lot more talking. The wonderful honor roll will be back on the Free Forge on Friday at 7:30 CST. And then Deej again on Monday for another solo stream before coming back up to Tuesday with another episode of Become Legend. We only have, after tonight, 4 episodes left, I think. So we're getting there. It's building. There's things happening, in case you haven't been paying attention. Again, thank you all so much for the support. You are the best community out there, bar none. Forge fam is the best fam. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening. Oh, it's semifinals on Honor Roll as well on Friday.
Go Hogs.
So make sure, get your Go Hogs in the chat. Thank you all so much, and until the next time the champions try to rise and become legend, we'll see you later.